The story begins with a meteorite falling into a mountain in China, right where Momo's family is vacationing in the middle. Momo's father is named Lao, and her mother is Lawyer May. People who can't stop thinking about work, even on the go. When the car suddenly shook violently, May found out that she had accidentally run over a rabbit and asked her husband to give her a plastic bag. Momo felt disgusted and asked why her mother said that this rabbit was stir-frying. What could she stand anymore? When the family returned to the car, they saw something hiding in the bushes and it was following them nearby. Two technicians were on their way to a cell phone tower. It looks like it's having problems. Upon arrival, they were surprised by the overall spoilage of the month. It's like being knocked down by something. But they couldn't understand what could have such power. At the same time, Momo and her family arrive at the resort and are disappointed to find that there is no phone signal. Pay attention to the goods quickly coming to pick them up and give directions to the waiting area. Then, a young couple, Tremors and Lulu, come and say they're going to hike. Trembling begged to borrow his rifle in case he encountered wild animals. But he insisted that animals would not bother them if they did not intend to hunt. If you want to hunt, it's better to wait until tomorrow because it's getting dark. The couple ignored Zhang's advice and set off into the mountains. We see an egg hidden in the bush that has begun to move. She just told her husband that she didn't like the other couple and that there was something good to watch anyway. Just as he was coming, he said that the boy was the boss's son and the kind of playful and cowardly type of boy. Momo complained that she didn't have internet, and he was explaining that some services were shut down during the off-season because the hotel is quite deserted in summer. However, the phone signal is usually still working well and will be back soon. He didn't know that the technicians in charge of repairs were being hunted in the bushes. And at that moment, one of them was attacked from behind unexpectedly, and the other tried to run away, but ended up falling into the stream, and a mysterious creature also caught him at the hotel. The young Sudanese woman told her boyfriend Zidane Min that maybe they should have left earlier because she worked at a hospital and the lack of contact worried her. But Jian made it clear to her that he was about to sign a contract with Zune and didn't want to offend him. When the family bought stable tissue at the wooden house, the girl went to the garden to shoot a video about nature and did not realize that she was going too far. It was then that she saw a dead rabbit and began to feel afraid. She held a knife in self-defense when a boy approached. He was a hotel employee named Lin, and he tried to reassure her. But a loud noise nearby frightened her even more. Momo stumbled and accidentally injured her spirit. She hurriedly ran away. At night, she rushes into the clouds to sing happy birthday to her daughter, but Momo is not very happy. May quickly became impatient with her daughter's ingratitude, and the argument between them ended with a slap. Momo ran away in tears and locked herself in the room. Through the window, she sees that Shiva and Lulu are having a romantic moment and starts filming them until something starts moving in the garden. Her mother interrupted the video recording when the light suddenly turned on. No matter who told her boyfriend that she would leave here with him or not, Momo escapes into the garden in time to look for the mysterious creature. The clouds appeared and pulled her back, and when the two mothers and daughters left, we see something like a giant lizard that moves quickly as soon as it trembles and Lulu's into their room. The creature invaded through the balcony and attacked. The girl trembled so much that she ran to the house next door and started banging on the door, shouting that there was a monster raging. Worry about opening the door, surprised and trembling with his friends. A boy named Our, Lulu's brother, went to check the room and found no monsters. Everyone was clearly suspicious of the worm's account until Momo showed a video of the creature she had filmed. Run confirmed that it was the same thing that kidnapped his girlfriend. Lin was having dinner with Janae when suddenly someone started screaming over the radio. Run asks to bring a rifle immediately because there's a monster attacking him. Thought it was just a joke by the boy. He just squinted his eyes and said that he would come soon. Lin began to worry when he saw that he was holding a gun after drinking his cup, so he decided to go with him. The group of people were in the waiting cabin until Google decided to go out and find his sister, say she might be alive. The short clouds did not let Momo go with them. Then Sui offered to go instead, criticizing the men in the group for their cowardice. Zi and Ming felt insulted and decided to help, but the worm continued to pretend, thinking it's all just a joke. He was walking leisurely with the spirit, and even stopped in the middle of the road to discharge water to save himself. Meanwhile, two boys who have just started their search have discovered bad news. Guy and Ming felt a drop of water fall on his face and looked up, panic, when a body falls. Hua couldn't contain her emotions when she saw what the creature had done to her sister. Not far from there, Ichang began to feel dizzy because of the effects of alcohol, when bright eyes suddenly appear in the dark. Lin realized that he had waited too long and started looking for Y2. He suddenly hears a rush on the radio reporting about the Lulu and advising everyone to be very careful on the way back to the cabin. Lin replies that he also found something strange, while the security chief says that it may be a giant-sized animal. However, Chui rejected that theory, confirmed that she has checked the Lulu and there is no doubt about it. They were facing something particularly dangerous, feeling more and more afraid and trembling, asking the king to go get the keys to the car, saying that if they stayed here, everyone would sleep and the garlic was gone. Hua lost his patience and said, saw Sean didn't go on his own, but took the key to the quarrel, which was interrupted by knocks on the door, and everyone immediately went into a state of alert. But they breathed a sigh of relief when they heard the spirit. He said that he had been lost on the way here and that he had found only a trace of blood. Lin thought it was dangerous to go out at this time. But Momo was worried when she heard that and remembered that Lulu had been attacked right in the house. Zun agreed with her, noting that at least the spirit had his rifle. However, he revealed that there were only 2 bullets left. Eventually, the group decided to stay there and fortunately ordered no one to be alone under any circumstances, as both attacks occurred when everyone was separated from the group. Take advantage of this opportunity. Run offers to go with the spirit when he says he's going out to bring back things they can use for self-defense. However, Wow, suspect that he will try to escape alone. Momo opened the window to watch the boys go to the house next to the spirit to break the window to enter, still trembling with the rifle, but began to sneak away, holding a piece of wood. The king quietly followed and prepared to attack Trembling, but he suddenly turned around and pulled the trigger and ran to save, but it was too late. Trembling asked, why was he going to attack him, and Hua said that his sister's horrific ending was YouTube's fault. At the same time, the lights in the cabin suddenly went out, and everyone panicked and ran to hide behind the items. We see the creature passing through the garden, very close to the window. They try to reassure everyone, say that the monster can't get in this because all the windows are closed. The last buyer confessed that she had left a window open. Makes people desperate. She had just had time to admit her mistake when the creature's uncertain footsteps sounded on the second floor. Under the command of Clouds, the group of people immediately rushed towards the car and met with a tremor with a link on the road. When they were crossing the bridge, the creature jumps out of the river and pushes the Momo into the water. May immediately jumped down to save his daughter. And while everyone tries to save both, Trembling quietly slipped away with a rifle. May helps Momo climb the bridge, but is unable to save herself and disappears under the water and rushes into her daughter. He was devastated by this loss and went down too, trying to comfort them while Dunn drove towards the exit, very nervous. He lost control of the car when he entered a bend and crashed into a barrier, leaving the car partially trapped while the rest of the people were still trying to find shelter from the heavy rain. When the creature appears on top of the cliff above them, they hold their breath and wait until the creature moves away before continuing. At the same time, Run tries to open the door without losing balance to the car, but the wheelchair rolled down from above, explodes when falling right in the middle of the bridge. But then, we see that the Trembling jumped out just in time to escape death. The remaining survivors sought shelter in the infirmary and waited until the next morning. They carefully stepped out and walked slowly until they spotted his car. As soon as he opened the car door, everyone hurriedly sped away, but the stall owner stumbled and fell down, and the security guard came back to help her. At that moment, they heard an angry roar. The monster appeared from behind a house, revealing that it had always been between them and the car all this time. People started to scatter, but this creature was much faster than humans and quickly caught up with them. It grabbed Momo by the leg and broke the floor, and she fell into a hole. The creature was about to jump in and attack her when the spirit slammed a chair on its head. He ran away, and the angry lizard chased after the other 3 people, jumped into the pit, and began to run away through the sewer system carrying the Momo. Unfortunately, the creature returns just in time for them to reach a barrier. Everyone started screaming as the monster ran through the shallow water and rushed through the latch at the last moment. All 4 of them got to the ground and told him that he almost knew where they were and that they had to continue to the VIP area. There was his car parked there. He began to lead the other group of people away, but then suddenly stopped to realize that something was wandering over their heads. The creature jumps to the ground so fast that they only see its tail glide through the window, and they end up fleeing in 2 directions when the monster enters. All colors cowered under a table, and the lizard was right above her head. She struggled to hold her breath as a giant claw grabbed the edge of the table. Seeing his daughter in danger, Jake began to scream and smash around, causes the creature to divert attention before also fleeing. Both Ji and Sui had to turn around and run when faced with the creature sent to, was nearly attacked when a loud alarm went off and Lin stormed the room with a fire extinguisher. Bravely faced the monster creature stunned by the smoke, but quickly attacks the Momo who was running alongside it. Fortunately, it missed and got stuck between the 2 wheels. He quickly took his daughter out of there. After the monster escaped, Link lured him to run towards him and led him to a large glass door. The light monster quickly rushed to attack the spirit. He quickly dodged into the monster that rushed through the glass door. But this doesn't give them more time. As soon as Lin joined Xing and Shuang, the lizard has returned inside. Each of them was looking for a different cabinet to hide, and they saw the creature wandering the corridors. He saw that he was approaching the cabinet where he was hiding. D-Security decided to sacrifice himself to save his girlfriend, pushed the door open, and the monster in a matter of seconds grabbed him and dragged him away with his feet. When the danger passed, Sui panicked and the rest of the people did everything they could to help her. Nevertheless, the situation was even worse when a monster carried the John Min to the roof, and Sui was so shocked that she fainted when she witnessed the scene. Lin said that he could go get the car and drive to the door, but he volunteered to go for the boy, who had sacrificed so much for everyone. Momo begged him to be careful to move along the walls carefully to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Nevertheless, as soon as he left the building, the trembling dead man saw in the distance and began to shout for them to wait for the monster to immediately pay attention and began to chase and rush to the car. Fortunately, he got in the car in time, but the creature slammed into the window, scaring him and dropping the key. When the glass of the notebook, the monster stretched out its neck to swallow its prey. The javelin also stretched out its hand to grab the key and start the engine in time, knocking the gun creature away and rushing away at full speed. Look in a rearview mirror and can't believe your eyes when the creature not only recovered, but also almost caught up with him, while the spirit enters the Sui, trying to stop Momo from chasing after his father. The monster jumped on the roof of the car, forcing him to perform all sorts of maneuvers to knock it down again. Eventually, one of its claws pierced the glass and hit the driver, causing the car to come to a sudden stop. Injured LOL is filled with anger when he sees the monster stand up easily again. Momo was almost there and began to call her father in tears. Lau smiled at her one last time before screaming in hatred and stomping the accelerator. Then the monster jumped on the capo and drove the car into the ravine. Momo watched the car fall and explode and began to slap and tremble in anger. After calming down, Link leads them to another car so they can leave. He gives Momo a phone that reveals that he has been prepared in case something happens to him. He filmed a video for his daughter regretting not being able to be with her, expressing his love and advising her to keep living. His words also comforted Shuai, and the two hugged each other. Just when it seemed that everything was going to be fine, they arrived at the bridge destroyed by the worm's car and realized that they were trapped on the mountain. The only exit at this time was through the cable car. The dragon died trembling. I didn't leave the gun for even a minute, startled when I saw the branches start to shake, and then realized it was just a flock of birds. However, at this time, the real monster was rising again at the same time. When Lin saw it, he climbed the cable car structure. He waited for the car to approach one of the towers and told him to tremble. After many complaints, he obeyed and reached out to grab the edge of the cart. Shuai told Momo to go first, but she injured her arm and said she couldn't hold on. Last, she stayed in the stroller, while the other jumped down and couldn't grab her hand. Is the teacher in danger? Link jumped onto the strollers in the opposite row and also reached out, but she was too far away. Now, 3 adults are at the peak of a month. While Momo's car continued towards the next tower, Lin began to sabotage the mechanical part of the cable car and succeeded in stopping it. The monster did not give up, jumped on one of the strollers, and soon arrived at the car of a little girl who lost her balance and fell from above. After the other 3 people came down from the top of the tower, they started looking for Momo, but nothing was found. Lin told the other 2 people to start a fire to attract a rescue team while he continued to search. However, the trembling is still only thinking about himself. Said that Momo had no chance of survival and that it was foolish to risk their lives to find her. Lin replied that he had promised him that he would bring her back safely. Finds himself unable to convince others. Shaking took the gun from Shuai's hand and forced Lin to give him the flashlight. Leaving the other 2 to face their own fate with only sticks in their hands, they continue to search for Momo until Lin discovers blood in a stream. He begins to cover his body with mud to deceive the smell of the monster, and everyone follows suit. The colors woke up with their faces face down in the water, just a few meters away from the monster. She tries to escape from the stream quietly, but her escape attempt is quickly discovered. Link and Sui arrive when she's trying to fight the current to escape from the spirit creature succeeds in deceiving the monster and helping Momo escape from the water. He discovered and decided to bring the pig monster. As soon as the monster realizes it has been tricked, it discovers a beam of light in the middle of the forest, which is the worm's flashlight. He faces the fleeing creature and hides under the rocks, waiting for danger to pass. However, the monster proves that it has learned this trick, and as soon as he trembled out, it knocked him down into the stream, ending the fate of the worm. Meanwhile, the rest of the people returned to the resort and began collecting fuel. Is it possible that Momo is still obsessed with standing and looking out? But she only saw the monster when it was right in front of her. The adults did not hear her screams as she fell from the platform, but the monster heard the cry of the child who was imprisoned in the cage very clearly. Lin defends herself by using the monster child as a shield while lighting a fire. The baby animal escaped from the cage and attacked Sui, but eventually fell into flames. The angry monster does not forgive them. Comma. Momo crawls to the spirit and can't believe her eyes when she sees the monster still intact. It jumped in and attacked her, and she fainted again. She woke up when she heard the voice of the spirit. And the baby animal lies on the ground near them. Lin screamed and prepared to face the monster, but it fell into his trap and jumped on the spear. It continued to struggle for a long time until Momo ended the fight. Then, the monster child also woke up, and buying Modi comes with a heavy stone. A strong blow finished it off.